How you doing? This is Melvin Brown. Welcome back to Melvin Brown Experience. Today is not going to be a story time, but today is going to be another topic. And this topic is going to be a one slide and a one slide only. Now, when you get love spells done and the spiritual worker do everything they can to tell you, do not move before the spirits. Now, what does that mean? If you and your target been separated for a year and a half and you go to a spiritual practitioner and after you get your supplies like a jar, a dowel, you name it, whatever they give you, and you thinking because of this spell is powerful and I paid this amount of money, I'm going to do what I got to do. And next thing you know, you call your target. Out of nowhere, you create more bad than good. Your target don't want nothing to do with you. Your target moved on, got a new woman, got a new man. Why are you calling them? And your spiritual worker told you don't do nothing. And since you broke the rules, the spirits is going to get on your ass. And what do I mean by get on your ass? What I mean by get on your ass is this. Your target might answer the phone and they will cuss you out and hurt your feelings. Or it can go more left. Your target new significant other can't answer the phone and talk that shit to you. Then out of nowhere, it can become something that the law gets involved with. And you'll be forced to be put on a restraining order. Then you're going to come back to me or go back to your spiritual worker and ask them for assistance for a new case that you open up, a new can of worms that you open up. Now you got to do court cases. Now court cases is easy, but if you out here causing problems, you can have a restraining order on your record. Nobody don't want that. So what is so hard of listening to your spiritual worker? ABC is not 1, 2, 3. If you move before the spirits, you're going to have to pay a price. The example I gave y'all, that's just small talk. It can get worse than that. Your target can block you from all social media platforms. They can call their family up. And then out of nowhere, you in more trouble. Not because you in trouble because you love your target. You in trouble because you disrespect the spirits. Like when you do any type of work, you have to follow rules. If you don't follow rules, the chances of you getting your manifestations is going to lower. Now, let's just say if you listen to your spiritual practitioner and your practitioner do what they have to do and they lay out rules for you, you don't do the opposite. Because when you do the opposite, you delay your process. And every good spiritual worker is going to have rules and regulations that you must follow. If you don't follow, you on your own. Now, listen, I understand some of y'all come from great backgrounds. Some of y'all got a 9-to-5 job. Some of y'all CEOs, vice presidents, bosses, you name it. In y'all 3D world, rules are different. Y'all can bend them rules. Y'all can violate them rules. But when it comes to spirituality, it's a different ball game. And if you come in there trying to break the rules, thinking this is the 3D world, you're going to bite off more than what you can chew. If you don't follow the rules, some spiritual workers have work laid out that if you break one single rule, the spirits don't want to work with it. Some spiritual workers have it set up like this. If you break any type of rules, bad things can happen to you. You could lose your job, or you could be in a position that you don't want to be in. I'm not going to get into further details. Or you got spiritual workers that lay their work down so good that when you break your rules and trying to do the opposite, They just make you repeat the cycle all over again. And that means you're going to have to repeat everything that you've been waiting for. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, if you came to your spiritual worker about love work and you begging and you're crying and you're screaming, and the spiritual worker said, okay, I'm going to do this. And next thing you know, you get your supplies, you get your jar, whatever you want to call it, wherever they send you, you get that. Then all of a sudden you decided to call your target. What's going to wind up happening, you're going to have to repeat that pattern. So let's just say you got your package in a month, and the next 3 months you couldn't take the side effects, so you call your target up. What's going to happen is the spirits are going to have you repeat the same pattern. So let's just say the minimum wait time for you to get your target back was about 6 months. 3 months you couldn't take it, so you called your target. Then it's going to reset itself by itself, and you're going to have to wait another 6 months to get your target back. And that's like, what, 3, 6, 9? So another extra 3 months, or maybe sometimes 6 months. It depends. That's a year and a fucking half. So look, listen to your spiritual worker, because things can go haywire when you disrespect the spirits, or when you're moving when you're not told to be moving. Another thing, look, I've been hearing some clients been calling me crying, boo-hooing. I understand. I hear your story. Look, I've been doing this for years, so I know the ins and outs of love work. Let's just say my love work. If I say, hey, just relax and chill, you're going to feel this type of way for a few weeks. You're going to feel this type of way. Just fight it. Please, please, please do not go out and reach your target. And then you go out and reach your target, which is going to lead me to a story time for y'all. So one of my clients is very popular. Let's just say this person is somewhat of a celebrity, very popular. So one thing I realized about celebrities, this ain't my first celebrity, but I have multiple celebrity clients. The funniest thing about celebrities is they feel like they are fucking invincible. So this is a true fucking story. So in May, this woman comes to me talking about she want love work done for a man. I said, okay, send me your full name, date of birth, and send me your address. When I'm done, I'll send it out to you. Okay, cool. I let this person know, yo, you're going to feel like this. Yo, you're going to feel like that. Yo, please, 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 just listen to me, because I don't got time to be doing what I have to do to get you out of a situation. She said, okay, bet. I shipped out her package. What wound up happening was these side effects were so strong. I told her what was going to happen. But listen, hear me out. This is her first time getting spiritual work done, so she don't know how this shit work. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I go about my life, and this is a true story. I can't make this scene up how this all went down. So probably a month and a half, I'm at the gym. I'm happy as hell. I'm back in shape. I'm looking right. I'm looking good. And when I work out, I have headphones on. I try to get in the zone. So all of a sudden, somebody's calling me. I can't listen to the music that I'm listening to while I'm working out, so I ignore it. And it just kept on happening and happening. I said, all right, fuck it. This must be a serious. Soon as I dig in my pocket, look at my phone, I'm like, oh, it's a celebrity chick. What she want? So I said, hello? She's sitting there crying her ass off. And I'm sitting there like, what did you do now? She said, Melvin, don't get mad at me. 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 I'm like, what you mean don't get mad at you? I couldn't take the side effects. I'm like, here we go. Oh, boy. Oh, God. What you mean you couldn't take the side effects? I called my target. I'm like, you called your target? Okay, that's normal. I'm thinking this shit's sweet. She said, Melvin, I couldn't take the side effects, so I called them. I said, okay, you called them. She was like, yeah, I called them. I said, okay. So when you called them, did you say, hey, how you doing? Just doing a checkout? She said, no, I didn't call him like that. And I said, what did you do? She was like, I cussed him out. I'm like, you cussed him out? Like, you just called them? She said, no, I just had a normal conversation. Then I just started cussing him out. I'm like, what did you cuss him about? She said she was cussing that man about all types of shit, just snapping on him. Yo, can you imagine you broke up with somebody for a few months and you didn't hear from them, and then they call you and they just crashing out on you for no reason, just crashing out, making all types of threats and this and the third about what they're going to do to you because they're accusing you of something that you probably didn't do, you probably did do, but more likely you didn't do. Cheating on them when they was together. Look, if you and your target broke up for months to a year and a half, that doesn't matter. That's the past. So crashing, leaving threats, say all types of shit, text them, leaving threats, and homie had enough. And he hung up the phone and blocked her. So she called me, and she told me like what she did and everything. I just shook my head. I'm like, yo, you disrespect the spirits. She said, Melvin, I know. I said, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's going to push back. Mind you, I'm in the gym, so I really don't care. I said, I don't know what's going on. Let me remind you, it might get pushed back. Just fall back and chill. You be all right. She said, okay, cool. I said, keep me posted. Four days later, she get a phone call. She calls me immediately, crying, Melvin. What's going on, baby girl? I just got off the phone with the detective. I'm like, the detective? Yeah. My target about to press charges. I'm like, here we go. And I sat there and I'm like, I told you. I'm going to play it cool. I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm going to play it cool. And she was like, Melvin, we got to do something. The people can't know about this. I'm like, the people? What you mean the fucking people can't know about this? My fans. I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm like, I'm going to call you back. I lie to you not. I'm still continuing working out. Like nothing didn't happen. I'm not getting angry or nothing. I'm just focused. All of a sudden, I give her a phone call. I said, baby girl, look, I just got done meditating. I advise you to go to a lawyer. She was like, you can't just let this disappear. I said, if you listen to me, everything will be okay. Get a lawyer. Melvin, you're not telling me nothing. Basically, what I'm trying to tell her, you're going to have to hire me for more service because if this man pressing charges, more than likely, you're going to have to go to court. Get a lawyer. Call you back in a few hours. She gets a lawyer. She gets mad at me. Like, Melvin, I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me. I'm like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm just going to warn you. I don't got time to be yelling. And look, listen, this is your first time. Did you get your lawyer? She said, yes. What's your lawyer name? Such and such. Send me a picture of your lawyer. Melvin, why do you want a picture of my lawyer? I'm about to tell you. She sent me a picture. And I told her, yo, we're going to have to do a court case ritual. She's like, a court case ritual? I'm like, yes. She's like, but Melvin. I'm like, look, what I'm seeing here is some fucking extortion about to take place without this lawyer. So, if you don't want to do it, that's up to you. But I feel like this is highly recommended. You need to do this court case ritual. She's like, okay, cool. So let's just say I had to keep on pushing the court case back, pushing it back to a point that it was causing confusion with the judge. The judge was getting fed up. So the judge was pushing it back because nobody didn't want to come to the court physically. So all of a sudden, we are thinking we got this under the bud because everything keep getting pushed back. But surprise, the lawyer gives my client a phone call. Hey, yeah, your target, he has a lawyer too. But this lawyer is his mother. And the lawyer continued. I was talking to the mother. The mother said the most craziest shit I ever heard in my life. My client said, what was that? The mom gave the lawyer a proposition saying, hey, since your client harassed my child, my client, we can settle this out of court right now. So her lawyer was like, I'm all ears. Tell me what's going on. The mom said, we can have this court case disappear if your client pays my client, my son, $350,000. Now, I ain't the smartest man in the world. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a probation officer and a private investigator. I didn't go to law school, but that sounded like extortion. My client called me freaking the hell out, snapping. I'm not paying that. Fuck him. This and the third. And I sat back and I told her, I said, you see what I mean when you move before the spirits. Thank God his mother didn't know how to be a lawyer. Because if it wasn't for the smallest detail, she probably would have to pay. See, when I realized when you a person of status and you live in a city what they call the city of angels, it's literally the city of demons. You call it, I call it the come up city. I call it a scandalous city. So I told my client, you don't got nothing to worry about. Just fall back and chill. Melvin, can we do something else? I'll pay extra. I'm like, nope. Just fall back, chill. That's it. Melvin, can you do something? I said, look, how about this? I do one little chime candle and see what I can do. I did the chime candle. The lawyer brightened up, decided to speed up the court case. Within a few weeks, the court case happens, and then the judge say, yo, was she served these papers? Was she served papers of she had to go to court or some type of restraining order? My client lawyer said no. Judge said, well, this case will be proceeded next month. Serve the papers properly. Now, what wound up happening is this. I wound up doing something small. Something for them to settle it out. The court case got settled. It wasn't financially, but it was agreement because my client lawyer is an Einstein when it comes to law. And basically it was this. We dismissed the case. We settle it out like this. We sign these papers that will stay away from each other. And if I break these type of rules, I am obligated to not only get a restraining order, but I am obligated to pay you large amount of money. Same thing for her target. He did the same thing. Case was dismissed. It was settled out. I'm going to say dismissed, but it was settled out. It was a victory. Now, do you want to go through something like that when you move before the spirits? Because something like that can happen. But some of y'all that come to me are not celebrities. Some of y'all that come to me is regular people. But as a backfire, If you move for the spirits, it can be something like what my client went through, or it could be bigger than that. So look, when you do spiritual work, you should never move before the spirits. You listen to your practitioner, and if you got side effects, call your practitioner. Call your practitioner. Let your practitioner know what's going on. You don't call your target because it's not your time. When your target calls you, you know it's time for y'all to talk. So look, don't move before the spirits when it comes to love work, because it can get dangerous. And you can call it a backfire call, whatever. I call it just repeating a cycle, or you have to go through a cycle for you to learn your lesson. This is Melvin Brown. This is Melvin Brown Experience. I hope you enjoy this video. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. You can email me. You could DM me. And one more thing I want to say. If you was a client in the past and you haven't worked with me since 2017 or 2020, and you're calling me all of a sudden now for spiritual work, out of respect, I don't want to work with you. Do not call to check up on me to see how I'm doing. This is business. If you want to call for business, call for business. But in the meantime, this is Melvin Brown. This is the Melvin Brown Experience. I hope you enjoy this video. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, email me, DM me. I'm out.